Welcome into Quick Hit Bears. Today, we're talking about Baylor wide receiver Monaray Baldwin. The 5'9", 164-pound wide receiver made a huge impact as a true freshman, especially in the Sugar Bowl game against Ole Miss when he took the jet sweep for a touchdown. Big moment in his career in the early going. Last year, 2022, he became kind of the go-to guy for this Baylor offense. The slot receiver had major expectations, and then he had a breakout season. 565 yards receiving, 4 touchdowns, led the team in both, also had 71 yards and a score on the ground. He continues to be one of those guys who just makes plays, and you saw flashes multiple times last year, but the big thing with Monaray is the ability to stay healthy. It was something he could not do last year as a sophomore. He even had problems as a freshman staying healthy. A lot of it has to do with his size, but also a lot of it has to do with just learning more about, being in a Baylor college program and just taking care of yourself. That takes time to develop, and I think he's getting closer and closer to trending in a direction that's positive for his health and his productivity going forward.
It was kind of frustrating, but I had a concussion in week 2. And then after that, it was just hamstrings because I had injured my hamstring in the spring, and then it just kept lingering. And then towards the end of the season, I was fine, but it wasn't great all season.
So he had some major highs last year. He had 174 yards, 2 touchdowns versus Oklahoma State, 123 yards versus TCU, but he also had some major lows, and a lot of it had to do with his health. He didn't play against Texas State or Texas Tech. He was limited, extremely limited, versus BYU, Oklahoma, and Air Force. So you put all those games together, that's 5 games in which he was essentially ineffective or just not on the field at all, and that's a huge chunk of your season. So going forward, he's got to figure out a way to stay healthy. He's mentioned that, that's something he needs to work on. I think the staff is looking at that as well as an area that he needs to improve. Good news is his backup, Jordan Neighbors, should be more ready to contribute going into next year. They're going to have some more help at wide receiver as well, but he's just a huge part of their offense. His ability to catch the football, make a play after the catch, his ability to get handoffs, make plays, his ability in the special teams. There's so many things that he does as a slot receiver and a gadget utility player that they really need for this offense to work. Jeff Grimes loves to utilize these type of athletes, and Monaray is the perfect guy for this offense for that role. And now he's a major leader, and that's something that I don't think people would think you would say about a true junior, a guy who's just about to be a junior, but he's a leader for this group, a guy that's played a lot of football compared to the rest of the receivers in this room. So now he's got to adjust to being a true leader for them, along with his coach, Dallas Baker.
Coach Baker has been great to us. He's probably the best thing that's happened to the receivers since we've been here, because Coach Baker, he really cares. I mean, he could care less about the football. He really cares for us as a person. I would say he's my friend. I don't really see him as a coach. It may be bad, but I just think we're so close, and he's really great to us.
It's great to hear these things about Dallas Baker. He's a guy who I think last year there was a lot of pressure for him, and there was a lot of criticism as well. I mean, that unit really struggled. The passing game in general struggled. A lot of it can be, that you can put the blame on whoever you want, whether it's the receivers or the quarterback. But at the end of the day, neither position really got the job done as a whole. And the receivers especially, they were young, and a lot of them still had a lot of room for growth. A lot of them need to get a lot better. But I think this is reassuring that Dallas Baker is the guy for the job. He's going to turn around this group in a big way. They have 6 receivers that I feel really good about next year: Ketron Jackson, Hal Presley, Josh Cameron, Armani Winfield, Jordan Neighbors, and of course the guy we're talking about, Monaray Baldwin. And I think Dallas Baker is crafting this unit the way that it needs to be. There's a lot more talent, a lot more old guys, and he's going to be relying heavily on his junior Monaray Baldwin to make a huge impact next year, and also just be a leader, like I said, for this room to help elevate the entire group to a whole nother level during the 2023 season. That's it. That's it for Quick Hit Bears. Thanks for listening today.